Hey everybody, Rich here, Rich's Custom Marine and Auto. In this one we're going to be working on this 2006 Dodge Dakota. It's got the 4.7 V8. Customer concern on this one is the check engine light's on. They had it scanned at an AutoZone or something, and these are the codes. Customer said it also had some transmission codes, but they must have cleared the codes when they read them just to see if they wouldn't come back. There's no transmission codes stored. There's a couple of random codes in there that are communication failure codes, which I see that often when the battery gets low. This is the customer's, it's kind of like an extra vehicle that they use only at times. And the battery, even though they had a 30-minute drive to get it to me, the battery was only charged to like 72% when it got to me. So I did charge the battery up. Well, that's why this has popped up. But I charged the battery up overnight, put my tester on it, and it says it's 98% capacity and a really good battery. So I think it's just a matter of this thing sat, the voltage got low. They went to start it up, or maybe they had to jump it, and that'll sometimes give those communication codes. But for the other codes we have here, the P0032 and the P1128, a lot of times the oxygen sensor can cause that. In this case, it would be a bank 1 sensor 1. You can kind of just see the wire back in there. But so bank 1 on this vehicle would be the driver's side. Sensor 1 indicates that it's the sensor ahead of the catalytic converter. And so I've already looked underneath there. Now, one of the other things the customer said was that they've had mice inside. So I was a little concerned that maybe there was a wiring issue. But everything looks good underneath. This is the PCM in this vehicle, and everything actually looks pretty good there as well. So we're going to do the all data troubleshooting for the oxygen sensor, which is just to unplug the connector, and then we'll read the pin, and I'll tell you guys which one it is when we do it. But you read the pin for the heating element to ground, and you should have between 2 and 30 ohms, with the sensor being at right around 70 degrees. The issue I'm having right now is the connector for that oxygen sensor is in a spot which is absolutely ridiculous to get to. They've got it up by the side of the transmission, and you can barely feel it, and it's actually clipped into a lock. So I grabbed my long trim tool there that I'm going to try and see if I can reach up there and get it popped loose from its holder and get it down enough where I can get my hands to get it unplugged. So that's what I'm working on next, and then I'll bring you guys back. Okay guys, I was able to finally get that thing unplugged. I'll show you in a second. So this is the way normal rivet puller is bent. You can see the little step down there. I had to take mine, you can see where it's discolored, heat it and make it straight, and then where these are normally rounded, I ground those off, and then I just took a flap wheel and took any sharp edges off of there. And that's what I had to do to get up in there. But let me get the camera up there and I'll show you what we got. Okay, so we've got it disconnected up there, as you can see. Now there's a kind of looks like a plastic rivet end that the back side of that connector gets held to the harness with. Now I just showed you the tool that I made in order to get that disconnected, because that's the only way you can get enough wire to get around the fuel line. Okay, we can see there that it's unplugged. This is coming in over the top of the tire. Now we need to get in there and get that oxygen sensor out of there. You could take this inner fender well out. It would be pretty easy to do, but I think I can reach up in there from underneath and get a 7/8 wrench on there, or I do have the special socket, which I'll show you guys, for oxygen sensors. Alright, we got our 7/8, and then we've got this socket. I think this is a Proto brand. I think I got it at AutoZone, but this gives you room for the wire harness. So we'll see which one fits in there the best and get that thing pulled out of there. I was able to run my 7/8 open-end wrench up there. Just ran it along the top of the catalytic converter, got it on there, and it came right loose. So it looks pretty old. So now we're going to set up and we'll do the meter check we talked about earlier. Alright, so I just did the test. What you do is you take your connector here, and these two that are on the side of your clip there, those are for the heater circuit, and like I said, with the sensor at about 70 degrees, read between those with an ohm meter and you should get somewhere between 2 and 30 ohms. Well, this one we got over limit, open, so clearly the wires look fine in this, but that element must be burned out down in here, which it does look like it's got definitely some hot spots down there. Now I went ahead and I took the new one. This is our brand new one here. I'll show you the part number in a minute. And I read across those two and I got like 6.3 ohms. So this one is working perfectly. Just to let you guys know, the part number for this, 560289998AB. So the dealership still can get these. You can get them online too. Basically the price was going to be about the same, so I went ahead and had the dealer get it because they could get it the next day, and it was going to be 3 or 4 days to get it if I ordered it online. I put just a dab of anti-seize on the threads, and we'll go ahead and install this thing, and this thing gets torqued to 22 foot-pounds. So thanks for watching, everybody. Appreciate that. Moral of the story on the codes here is these computer age vehicles, they don't like low voltage. So if you let your vehicle sit for a while, you might want to look into some kind of battery maintainer, or even look at the solar option these days. They've got dash mounted, or you can just set up on the dash a solar panel that you can hook up to your battery, and it's a good solution. Solar's come a long way. But anyways, just something so that after it's sat for a while, the computers will draw that battery voltage down, and then when you go to crank it, it makes that voltage dip to where the computer gets angry, and you get communication codes. And on the newer, like 2016 and newer rigs, you can get the modules kind of forget who they're attached to and all of that stuff. So keep your battery maintained, and that'll help alleviate that problem. So if it's your daily driver and you start to see that, then your battery probably needs to be replaced. So something to look into as well. But thanks for watching, everybody. Please subscribe. It helps out our channel. Like the video if you would as well. Feel free to leave any comments, suggestions, or anything else as well. And we'll catch you in the next one.